guys.
Hello.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tommy.
And I'm Shay.
And this is my husband. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
Okay, so today's video, we just wanted to share our testimony of what has happened in the last 1 year, and also it's primarily to thank God for what has happened, but also to encourage you and let you know that 1 year is a long time. In fact, it's too much time for God to move. We hope that this inspires and this blesses you, and gives you hope to know that better is coming for you and it's not too late. Exactly this time last year, I was in Nigeria. I took a vacation to Nigeria, and the reason I went to Nigeria was because I just felt that it was going to be my last December as a single lady. At the time, I did not have a boyfriend. I had people around me, people that liked me, but there was no one I was interested in. But I just felt like I should just go to Nigeria. There was this youth camp that I had attended like years past previously, and I used it's called the name of the ministry is called YDI, Young Disciples International. It's based in Nigeria, but the camp is called Camp Joseph. So I just decided I was going to go. Actually, I arrived in Nigeria on the 27th, which is the day the camp starts. And so I booked my ticket to Nigeria like about 2 months before that. And I remember like after I'd paid for it, and then like in November I just started thinking about it. I was like, actually, like this trip does not make any sense. Like, what am I doing? Like, most of my family was here in England. My parents were here as well, and I was like, it just doesn't make sense. If I had not paid for the ticket at that time, I was definitely not going to go. So at this time, I just felt like I was the one going to Nigeria. I had no idea that God was leading me to go there for a reason. And I remember on that day, on the day I arrived at camp, which was 27th of December last year, I met Shay again. I'd seen him once during my sister's wedding, like the previous year, or 2 years ago, about 18 months ago, but we really didn't say anything much to each other, and then we saw each other again, and things progressed from there. But the thing is, before I went to Nigeria, I was thinking that I didn't want to meet anyone in Nigeria, because I did not want long distance. I didn't want a long distance relationship, and Shay as well. Do you want to share where you were at around that December time, like where
Yeah, I remember vividly December last year. My mind was preoccupied, especially with work, and then I just told myself that I didn't want to be in a relationship because I wanted to focus on my career, possibly go for an academic course, and then just get on with life aside relationship. And then I was at this same camp. For me, I've been going to the camp every year, and then I wasn't really looking forward to that camp, as it were, because there wasn't so much to look forward to, and then especially because of work, as it were, for me. But I came to the camp, and then I saw this beautiful chocolate coated caramel beauty, and then we started talking, and then how things changed, how my 4-year plan, I had this 4-year plan of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to achieve. It would interest you to know how God just came in and then turned a lot of things around. Mm-hmm. And then looking back, it's been a wonderful year. It's been a wonderful year. God has showed for Himself in great and wonderful ways, finances, miracles, testimonies. It's been awesome, and especially with Omotomilola, my life has been beautiful. God sent her to add color to my life.
Yeah, I'm just one of the testimonies. I mean, there are so many things like happened for me and for us this year, and this year as well. Like, got promoted at work. Actually, like last year, people were being made redundant and the company downsized, but then I got promoted, and God really helped me at work, and has just given me favor at work, because I keep thinking about it. I don't feel like there's anything so special that I do, but it's just like whatever I do, like my boss just seems to like it's just it's favor really. Yeah. Like, there's no way like we can describe it. But even more than that, I think one of the major testimonies was also like getting our house. for a long time, for like before, even like for the longest time, like I've been wanting to get like on a property ladder to get a house, and it just didn't happen. Like it was actually going to happen in 2015, but like the sale fell through, and this year God made it happen. However, like it's a testimony, like it probably should be in a separate video, because it's not like the finances were just there like sitting and I had all the savings waiting. I didn't have any of that, but God gave us a word. He gave Joshua 1:9, which says, "Be strong, be courageous." Actually, the version I was reading that day was saying, "Be strong, be brave." I think it was something like "Be brave, be courageous." But anyway, we'll put the scripture on the screen. But it says, "Be strong, be brave." Like I, the Lord, am with you in everything that you do. And that scripture, I have held on to it like every single step of the way. Because especially with regards to buying our house and other things as well. But when buying our house, like when it seemed like, you know, the walls like were caving in or they're closing in on us, I would just remember, I'm like, God, no, you said it that you're going to be with us, like, because like buying this house, the cost of the house, like it was bigger than you know what, it was bigger than our bank account really. So it had to be like a God thing, and I would just have to remember, like, you know, God, this is what you said. And the fact that we are living in our house now, it's just a testimony. I really would not, if I had dreamt of what the things that had happened this year, like if I had planned like for the things that happened this year to happen, I could not have planned it like this. I could not have said that I would get married this year, even though I was saying that, you know, even though I was saying that I felt like it was going to be my last December as a single person. I didn't think about it in terms of like the way it happened. Like I wasn't thinking about it like, oh, like you'd actually get married. I mean, I'm thinking like, oh, you know, you meet someone, and then to think that, you know, I'll get married, I'll get a house, like we'll get a house, we'll start a business, a new business that is doing very well, get promoted at work, and just like there are some other things that not necessarily sharing now, but just think about how, you know, everything happened. I'm just like, it's so God. And I think it's also just to encourage you to know that, you know, there isn't, like, it's not too late. Like I mean, this was the time I met Shay last year, like met him properly, and so it's not too late for things to change. It's not too late for God to step in and to come into thinking that, you know, you have all these plans and all the things that you wrote to happen in 2017 and it didn't happen, and you're thinking, where is God? Is there really God? I mean, I've written like getting married like several times. Like I'd written it like getting married. I'd written about like getting a house and getting a property like that. It didn't happen at that time, and then now it's like, you know, I think it's Amos 3:3 that says like, you know, is it Amos? I'm not sure.
Amos 9:13.
Yeah, about like one thing happening fast on the heels of another, and that was
to keep up, your head will swim.
Exactly. That literally, that is our testimony. I think Amos 9:13 pretty much.
And then I would also like to chip this in that yes, the past year has been fantastic for us, but I must let you know there were times when we were faced to the wall, and then in fact there were sometimes that she shed tears because things weren't looking like it. You know, it just goes a long way to say that even after God has given you a word, you have to take a step. Yeah. And then, you know, God would always make provision for every vision that He's given. So for us, I think it has been working in faith. You know, we take a step, and then God, you know, just comes and then literally takes care of us. You know, there have been times when we planned or we were expecting maybe funding from some particular person, but God, you know, would just go and then would surprise us all together, and then, you know,
I think that was actually one of my lessons of one of my lessons of 2018 is remembering that God is our source, especially when it came to like our wedding. And because we had a traditional wedding in Nigeria, and then we had a church wedding in here, like in England. And one of the things is that, like, you know, I was kind of expecting that, you know, certain people would, like, you know, sort of support us financially, and I was like really thinking that there's no way that these people wouldn't come through. But then I remember one day, like, God just, like, you know, kind of speaking to me and saying, like, you know, like, I'm your source, and it doesn't matter like where it comes from. The most important thing is that it comes. And that just really liberated me, because one, I was not expecting, I no longer was expecting from any of this. And also the way, I mean, you can say it's entitlement mentality, but the way I was also thinking was, Father, if these people don't do anything, like don't support us financially, like give us any, like, you know, finance, money, or that I felt like, you know, I would be really upset. But like, you know, when God just like, you know, spoke to me that day, like that afternoon, I just like got a read. I was so happy. Like I didn't feel like I was entitled to receive anything from anyone, as it were. I was not upset with them. Like I was like, you know, I just became I got really free in my heart. And really, I think it was very important, because the like you said, like, you know, we got funds and finances and help from places we weren't even really thinking that it would come from. But it was just the fact that God needed to, like, you know, change our focus and help us to remember that, you know, it is our source, and it doesn't matter where it comes from, and no one owes us anything, as it were. It's just like, you know, focus on God. However he does it, that's up to him.
Yeah. Then also during this past 1 year, God has used people around us to really bless us, and then this goes a long way to talk about the kind of friends that you have. You know, sometimes when you're down, you just need to be in the right environment, you know, the right group of friends, the right family, and then God used people, you know, to bless us, to uplift us, you know, times when it wasn't so easy. Now, in saying all of this, it's also important to know that there were times where we were disappointed. You know, there were some circumstances where we were disappointed, but we just had to remember that God was our source, and then we held on to him. And then today is beautiful. If you take a look at what we've spent in the last 1 year, I'm not sure.
You know what, that money now. Yeah, and I just wanted to also add that, you know, like he was saying that, you know, he had a plan, like a 4-year plan, and he was saying like when he went for the camp, he wasn't thinking relationship. I also went to Nigeria, and I was quite like adamant about not having a relationship or not meeting anyone in Nigeria, because I didn't want a long distance relationship. And so it's just, you know, knowing that, you know, yes, like we should all plan, and it's very important to plan. We're planning for 2018 already, but in your plans, your plans must be flexible enough for God to be able to like break in or come in, and like literally, like if he needs to rip it up, like you're open, you're basically surrendered to him. Because if I was so like, you know, fixated on the fact that, you know, I didn't want to be in a relationship with anyone that was in Nigeria, like we would not be here today, because my mind would be completely closed to it. If also he came to the camp thinking like, no, like I'm not thinking of a relationship, all I want right now is business, or all he wants right now is business, and you know, he's not thinking about that, again, he wouldn't even see me, because his head is just like one direction. And even if he saw me and then we spoke for like, because the camp was just 3 days, he could have spoken for 3 days, and then he just like, that's it, like, you know, this is not God. So in all your planning, as you make plans for 2018, or whatever season it is that you're making plans for, just make sure that, you know, you're flexible enough for God to come in and, you know, to do whatever he wants to do. But it's never too late. Don't give up. It didn't happen this year does not mean it cannot happen last year. Don't let the failures of the past, don't let it hold you back from receiving tomorrow. So don't focus on the failures, don't even focus on the success. You know, not just we've had a brilliant 2017, and we're not going to let that hold us back and feel like everything is also going to fall on our laps again. We're going to, like, you know, do more, like pray and do whatever it is that we need to do, plan, go out, like step out more in faith. So yeah, because it just, the scripture says, from glory to glory, this is the path of the righteous, the shining light shines brighter unto the perfect day. So 2017 was great, and we just know 2018 has to be greater, because it's what the scripture says, and that's what we hold on to.
Yeah, actually, it's too big for you. You know, if you have been dreaming small, it's time for you to dream again.
Thank you very much for watching, and I hope this blesses and inspires you. If you have comments, questions, actually no, you should have comments. I like to read from you, so please leave the comments in the comment section. And if there are any other videos you'd like us to do, maybe do together. If you want to see them again, if you want to get a lot of those again, just let me know in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Bye.